Hey now, today I am making some pork bone broth using some bones from a whole pig that I butchered up a few weeks ago. I didn't have time to deal with these bones at that point, so I actually just put them all into this turkey fryer pot and set it right into my deep freeze because I had room in my secondary freezer. And yeah, I pulled them out last night, kind of let them thaw up. And today it is time to make some delicious, rich, actually reasonably healthy, maybe up for debate, bone broth. Anyway, first step here is I'm just going to be topping up this turkey fryer vessel. It's a 7-gallon pot here with some warm water just in case any of them are still just a little bit frozen. And I'm going to be adding some apple cider vinegar just to help extract the minerals from the bones, something I've heard. So anyway, going to give that a whirl here. Okay, so it was about 5 gallons of water, just to kind of cover everything up there. And then I'm adding to that a cup of this apple cider vinegar. I'm going to give it half an hour here, just to kind of sit there and start to do its thing before I flame on and start to heat up the water. Well, we've had our half hour, so I just hooked up the old propane tank and I just flamed on here. So we're going to let this hit a little bit of a rolling boil and try to see if there's any kind of like a layer of nastiness that forms on the top that we're going to get off of there. We'll just do some skimming when that happens. Okay, so you can see we're not quite at a boil yet, but we've got this little just kind of scummy layer that's come to the top here. So I'm just going to clear this stuff off as we keep approaching a boil. And once we have, and I have cleared off as much of this as possible, then I'm going to add some veg. Well, I've got pretty much all the scum out of there that I possibly could get, and as you can see, it was a lot of that fun stuff. So now it is time to add some veg. So I've just got some celery stalks that I'm putting in there. I've got some onion, as well, just some carrots that are going in here. Toss those in, and I'm just going to kind of cover this up a little bit here after I poke everything kind of down, and then really it's just a waiting game here for the next, I've probably got about 12 hours I can put into this today. And just kind of topping up as need be to make sure that the bones and everything are all nicely covered. Okay, a couple things. First of all, after that last little clip there, I actually pulled out the carrots and sliced them because after I dumped them in I realized I hadn't done that, and that was something I definitely wanted to do. Secondly, you can see now that the liquid has dropped a couple inches in depth, so I'm just going to top it up with some hot water here. That'll slightly kill my simmer, which actually was a touch higher than I wanted it anyway. So I'm just going to dial down the propane a little bit. Another thing that could be done prior to doing this is if a person wanted to roast some of the bones and the meat on that, you could get a little bit more depth of flavor. However, because I use this in a ton of different things, not just for like ramen broths or whatever, but a lot of the times just going into gravies and different sauces and stuff I'm making, I'm really more so just after the richness and the gelatin and stuff like that. So that's why I didn't add like a ton of veggies, nor did I roast these particular bones. But that's definitely something that a person can do depending on what you're going to use it for. This is about 9 hours in right now. It's looking super rich and delicious. Gonna take some more time though. Well, there we are. It has been a lot of hours. And I've just turned it off here for the evening. Alright, so it is the next day. I let it chill overnight, and then I just kind of warmed it up again a little bit just on the turkey fryer burner here. And then just pulled that basket right out, which was a super handy way to eliminate the vast majority of large stuff from this. Now I'm just going to go ahead and pour it through this metal strainer here, and then we will see how clear it is. Okay, let me clarify. Certainly clear was not the word that I was going for there, but rather free of any kind of chunks. So you can see everything that just kind of got strained out there. So at this point, I'm ready to go ahead and add all of this awesome broth to some mason jars because I'm going to be pressure canning it, and then it'll just be able to stay on the shelf, which is fantastic. Okay, well, I've got one load of jars up here in the pressure canner, and I'm going to get them up to, based on my elevation here, probably 12 pounds or so of pressure for 20 minutes. And then I'll just keep going, doing more batches till it's all processed. Well, here we are the next day. After everything got canned up, I made just about 17 liters worth of pork bone broth here, and I did those in 250 ml as well as 500 ml jars, just depending on what I want to use them for. These are amazing to be added into gravies or soups or stews or sauces. Also, if you're making ramen broth, this is very important for that. So yeah, folks, really quite easy to make as long as you get your hands on some nice pork bones or feet or ears or anything like that. And yeah, so hope you enjoyed. If you like it, subscribe. Lots of fun videos always coming down the pipe. So until next time, keep it red 11.